Tori, where are we going today?
It's in battleships!
Yay! Here we are at the Alabama Welcome Center on the Mississippi-Alabama line. This facility has been open maybe about a year. It's a lot bigger than the original one was. Has a lot of clean restrooms, nice places to sit down, picnic areas. Lots of parking for buses and cars and trucks and RVs and such. One good thing is when you come in here, the Welcome Center has lots of brochures and coupon books and maps and stuff. And I picked up this. This is the USS Alabama little card. And one good thing about it is, on the very bottom of it, there's a $2 off coupon for adult admission. So if you plan on visiting the USS Alabama, definitely stop at one of the welcome centers and pick you up one of these cards. Right, we have arrived at Battleship Memorial Park, just east of Mobile, Alabama. You can see Mobile skyline there. Not a busy day out here today. Got some tanks. Tori's checking it out. She's really excited today. She's never been here before. I've been here probably once a year my whole life. I was waiting for her to get a little bit bigger because there's some ladders and stairs and stuff that, you know, some smaller kids can't navigate very well. There's I-10 and Highway 90. Got some more tanks and artillery. And there we have the USS Alabama. That's what we come here for. We're gonna take a look at these planes and tanks out here first, and then we're gonna go in for the self-guided tour. Lots of cool old tanks and anti-aircraft guns out here in the park. One thing I think is cool is they actually have an app where you can type in the number or press the number on the app. Kind of gives you a little more information about it. I just downloaded the app. That's kind of new to me. So once we get into the battleship itself, we'll see how good that app really is. I'll let y'all know about it. Finish taking a look at these tanks, and we'll be heading inside the battleship. Okay, when you first get here, you have the little entrance building. There's a gift shop, little restaurant type thing. Over there you got the USS Drum, a Blackbird. It does cost $4 to get into the park, and I think it's about $15 for adults to get into the ship. So. Here's one of the earlier catapults. Used to point it out over the water and launch planes off of it. It's pretty neat. Had one on either side of the ship. In the middle of the plane, or the ship, was this crane. I guess that's where they would sit planes down onto the deck. Yeah, I know it's kind of interesting. The bow of the boat's all steel and the rest is all wood deck. Pretty interesting. You have 3 tours on the ship, self-guided. They give you a piece of paper or a little book that tells you each color. I think one ends to the other, ends to the other, so you make a big loop around the boat, basically. But let's see what we got. You want to start A? Start A, so we're going to follow the red one. It's at the machine room. You first come down the steps. All the parts and stuff. It was a long time ago. A little bit more of the machining room. Look right here. What's over here? All kinds of stuff. Go ahead. More the machine room. And the ship had its own bakery. We used to make bread and yeah, you go anywhere you want to as long as there's not a gate, Tori. Big mixing machine. It's the ovens, Tori. It's the big ovens. See? Look, pull it up. There you go. Close it. There you go. Now we're in the kitchen area. So they got breakfast going. Sausage and grits and Rice Krispies, some pep and oranges and apples. That's where they used to sit at and eat. Now if you look Tori, see how it's round? See how the thing is round? You know why it's round? One of those big guns is on top of that. That's why all that's round. And this looks like the pressing shop where they used to iron the uniforms. Big, massive industrial irons. And this is where they used to clean and store all the dishes at. You got the big coffee pots. All the dishes in there. And here's some of the bunking area where they used to sleep at, Tori. You wanna lay on them like you're a sailor? Go in there and lay on one of them. Not very comfortable, is it? No, that's all right. This is what's called the brig. It's the jail for those sailors that are bad. Just like the jail inside the ship. Inside the ship. Yeah. You've been bad. I'm gonna send you to the brig. I don't know if I want to be locked up in here. And this is a tailor shop. We used to fix the uniforms and make alterations and such. Sewing machine. They got uniforms in here? Let's go look at them. Yep, there's some of the uniforms. Here's the barber shop. I guess the barbers would sleep in there too. Like old Floyd on Andy Griffith say, it's a 5-chair shop. And this is where they would hang all the laundry at after they cleaned it. There's all wash machines and big press irons. I bet it was really hot in here. And this is the bathroom. It's stinky, Tori says. You don't get much privacy in here. This was the soda fountain area. Get you ice cream or strawberry sundae or chocolate malt. More sleeping areas in here. Now these beds actually have a rail around them. I don't know if that's because we're towards the front of the ship and it rocked back and forth more in this area. I don't know. Tori seems to enjoy them. And this is something I've wanted to do when I was little, never got to. But they can actually spend the night in here. Boy Scouts and stuff. This is the ship's store. Get your pipe tobacco and cigarettes and soap and toothpaste and get you some cigars, cigarettes, matches and girly calendars, comb, razors, Old Spice, old Butterfingers. Yep. Now we're back in here by the kitchen. Okay. This is the temporary brig. Called the tank. galley. They call this the galley. It's where they would store some of the food. This is the butcher shop where they would cut up all the meat and make sandwich meat. All kinds of different things. Has scale, measuring, and weight. Big old butcher block back there. And this is pretty interesting. The garbage and scraps and stuff, they actually ground them up and would flushed overboard. And they ground them up enough so they wouldn't leave a trail. So what this room is where they would keep the motion pictures, the movies that they would play for the sailors on the boat, the ship I should say. Now towards the front of the ship they had offices and bunks, sleeping arrangements for the warrant officers. Not too sure about, but it was the offices and such for all the, I guess you say, special people on the ship. Each one of these doors had a different sleeping quarters for somebody. You come out that hallway into here, and here you have another one of the bases for the turret. It goes around and around. Actually pretty cool in here now because air conditioner's kicking. I remember back in the day there wasn't very much air conditioning in here, so they've improved the air conditioning situation here a good bit over the last couple of years. Going back around the big turret base. At the Marine tailor shop. The Marines would get their uniforms fixed. Look, Tori. This is the rifle racks. Marines stowed their rifles in these racks when they weren't cleaning and polishing them. They locked in place here in the butts. And go down there. The butt stock. Where you put up on your shoulder, that's where that would go. Marine pressing shop where they would iron the Marines' uniforms. And here we have the Marine rifle racks. Those are big transformers for the lights. Yeah, look at no more. This is the Marine stores. Got their K rations and helmets, canteens, mess kits, trenching shovels. That's where they would store them at. This area has more bunk beds. Shows you what's inside the typical locker. Didn't have a lot of space in there. Got pictures of your girl, family, girly pictures, toothbrush. Old pipe. Pretty interesting. A diorama here tells you about Iwo Jima. This is pretty new here. I wasn't here last time I remember. This is pretty cool. From the base of one of the turrets. It has spare 40mm gun barrels. Got some of the guns in here. Cross sections of ordinances they used. And here is the post office. All the mail and packages. where they would keep track of the damage of the ship. You got all the levels of the ship there on the board. They keep track of where the damage was and how watertight the ship was, so they could keep track of it and address it, send people to fix it. This is one of my favorite parts. This is the engine room. Go all around, look at all the valves and parts to the motors or engines, generators. It was really loud and hot in here when I was going. All the valves. Look at all the valves. This is probably a boiler. Yep, I think this is a boiler, made steam or whatnot. This is my favorite part of the ship. You like it up here? Yeah. All kinds of things to look at and explore in here. You gotta watch your head in here.
Not for me.
Not for Tori though, she's little. Look, Tori, this will tell you how fast the ship was going. Hit stop, 1/3, 2/3, stand, full, and flank. And you got backwards. You got head and back. So the people down here would know which way each motor engine was going. Go ahead. There we go. That way. Yep, that way. I haven't been that way yet. No, nothing down that way. Can't go in there anymore. That blocked off.
When you were little, you used to go back there?
Mm-hmm. There's more down there in the depths, deeper depths of the engine. Various gauges, exhaust pressure gauges, steam pressure. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Tori, come over here. All the switches. In the ground there's a bunch of valves. See them? Valves and gauges. It's insulation. All that stuff is insulation. Try to keep the heat down. You see how the pipes are different colors, Tori? Different colors means different things. One might mean like hot water, or steam, or cold water. Yep. Yeah, blue is probably cold water, more than likely. You got steam and oxygen. Go back, go up to 13. That's just the look of the engine room. Like I said, one of my favorite parts of the whole tour. Always intrigued me looking at all the different parts and bells and whistles and valves. 440 volt generator. That'll light your house up. Climbing up out of the engine room. What we got here, Tori? Look. 5-inch powder hoist. You remember that round cylinder earlier we saw on the ground? They would put them in here, and this would rise up to the guns up top. It's like a conveyor belt. It's got a motor. They had 2 of them right here. The powder is the gunpowder. So there's 4 hoists in here for the 5-inch projectiles. You load those cylinders in there and close the door. Look in there. All canisters. Stacked up. See? That is this right here. And it would travel up and they would load into the guns that would shoot. Lots and lots of switches and gauges and fuses. Main battery plotting room, where the fire control problem to aim the 16-inch guns was solved. The 16-inch guns were normally fired from here. Huh. That's kind of interesting. Oh wow. More switches and This is the central station. This is where they could actually steer the ship at, or where they did steer the ship at. It's got a big gyroscope. I guess you're just driving blind, going by the gauges and what everybody was telling you. Got a big trolley system out here, probably for moving stuff around. Oh, here we go. This is inside one of those big guns. You see all the... Now we're inside the base of the 16-inch gun. This thing used to spin around, Tori, that you're standing on. It used to spin around. That gun's right above us. Watch you're going. See, they had them chained in, so when it spun around, they wouldn't fall over. You can go downstairs. Heading downstairs inside the turret. Now there's that's those powder casings. And look, see over there? That's where they came up from that room we had earlier, remember? They had the hoist. This is the base of one of those big turrets that you can see from the highway, or when you come into the park or looking at the ship itself. Kind of hard to tell you how big this room is, but it's probably 40 foot wide, if not bigger than that. One big circle. Probably every bit of 50 foot wide if I'm looking at better. It goes round and around. You can see the powder shells down there. That's where they would load them up into the gun. And go back up those stairs. Continue the tour. And just outside of the turret base, you have the eye, ear, nose, and throat office. If you're having problems with your eyes, your ears, your nose, your throat, just sit in that comfy chair and they'll fix you right up. Yep, doctor's office. This is the clerical office. Bacteriological lab. Huh. So I looked at all the germs and stuff. Microscopes. What's in there here? Dispensary. That's basically a drugstore, a pharmacy. Tell the drugs and stuff they would give people that are sick or needed help. And of course the pharmacist would sleep in there. You can see his bunk bed right there. The bunk bed's right there. Surgical dressing room. That's where they would get you ready for surgery. Or do surgery.
There's somebody in there.
There's somebody in there?
Yeah, he broke his arm.
Got back in there.
put it on the bed.
This is the sick bay. This is where all the sick people would they stay. They keep them separated from everybody else. And here's the operating room. If you get too sick, they put you in here and work on you.
This one.
And here's another base one of those turrets. See what's back here. This is where they sterilize the equipment they use for the surgeries, the knives and scalpels and needles and such. Big sterilizers. Backside of the operating room. And here's some of the surgical equipment they used. Little needles and such. We got more surgical tools displayed. Got some medicine. And this is the isolation ward, so if you had infectious diseases, you would be locked up in this room here to keep you away from everybody else before you get everybody else sick. Of course, they had a dentist on board. You go in there and get your teeth drilled on. Not something I want to do. Got little instruments they used. Got two-chair dentist office here. This is the radio room. Got all the radios listening to the enemies and trying to listen to the enemies and listening to friendly radio, I guess you'd say. This talks about Tokyo Rose. We don't have the broadcast playing right now. A little bit about that. Around the corner here, the main coding room. This is where they would, if I'm not mistaken, decipher the secret codes the Japanese would do. And they would decipher what the Japanese were saying during the war. The gauzing room. What this did is made the ship not magnetic. So when the mines wouldn't stick to it and explode, be attracted to it and explode, this would demagnetize the whole ship basically on the outside. Very interesting. Here's this room talks about the first Navy divers that were used on this ship.
I was wondering how it's sitting here now. This is our US Navy standard diving apparatus called a Schrader pump. It's very similar to the engine in your car.
One of the first diving suits.
This wheel was started by a couple of sailors with the quarter or two standing by when they get tired. This wheel turns the crankshaft you see on top. This in turn forces down the piston, sending air to the diver below. You have to continue
This is the air pump.
to make sure it has enough air.
What they did is get two people, one on each side, turning it, and it'll pump air in lines down to that guy. They have air tanks back there. They had air pumps.
Copy that. Understood. Captain's not going to be happy to hear that. No way around it, though.
All right, we finished the red tour, the green tour. Now we're on the yellow tour. Yellow tour has a lot of the above deck stuff, lots of displays. Dioramas, memorabilia, or artifacts.
Steam lines broke. If you got hit by a plane or a bomb, that's your right hand. This is the Admiral flying room.
They got the same information as the bridge guy when he was on board. Check whatever going on.
Now here's something interesting. We've been seeing this yellow trolley throughout the ship, down in the inner workings. You can see it comes in right there from the outside. Comes in, turns a couple corners, and dead ends right here at this massive chain hoist. And there's a hatch. There's a hook. It goes all the way down, probably to the engine room. Pretty interesting. Next to that is where they would load up the 20mm ammunition drums. They'll lay the belts out on this table, feed them into the drums, have them ready to go. Got two areas of that right here. Of course, they got men's and women's restrooms here. So don't have to worry about all that. One time this ship was floating, I believe. Here now it's actually sitting on the bottom, make it more sturdy, so it's pretty much permanent fixture here. And here's those guns that use those drum magazines. Getting out here towards the big guns, number 6. You actually go inside the turrets. So let's see. Go ahead and hop in there, Tori. See what's in there. Go ahead. Oh, I'm up in here. Definitely gotta watch your head. If you're tall. Or if you're short too, you gotta watch your head. This is pretty neat. Another one of my favorite parts of the whole tour. This is inside the turrets. The big. And if you look down in there, you'll see where the projectiles were inserted into the breech, and that's the base of one of the guns. I'm gonna go inside this small, narrow doorway. Oh, there. Now you can see better. Where they were loaded the projectiles into the cannons, the 15-inch projectiles. I think is what they were, 15 inches. So you can see how narrow this doorway is. I'm pretty narrow, but I'm also pretty tall. Go back out here with Tori. There's Tori. You having a good time, Tori?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No jumping. I'm gonna look right over here. Hold on. You're missing stuff over here. Yeah, come right here. You can see better where the other gun bases are at. Not much to see in that one. Look in that one over there. You can see. Same thing here. This was the other side. Just the area where you can see inside the guns. Pretty interesting, I think. Switches and levers. This right here kind of tells you what's going on with the ship. Speed, kinds of stuff. Head back out, and you can got a duck behind the underneath this right here. And you go over to your left, and you can. Well, that chair is broken. Here, you can sit in this one here, Tori. Can you look for there? Okay, hold on. I'll hold you up. Hold on. Alright, we're out that 16-inch turret. And you got 3 more right behind it, backing it up. Got the big anchor chains. Machine guns, anti-aircraft guns. Go through with fire at the kamikazes coming towards the ships. You can see part of the anchor right there. Welcome to the very bow of the ship. I-10 and Highway 90 right there. Little fishing pier. Usually a lot of people out there on the fishing pier in the summertime. Pretty popular place. This is the captain's cabin. So where he ate his meals at. Relaxed. There's a little window. And carpet. This is the door to what's called the battle bridge. It's a heavily armored area. See how thick that armor is. Door casing. But they can look in here. And steer the ship from here. And look for these little bitty windows. Just beyond that battle bridge is where they keep all the maps and charts. Pull them out and read them, navigate. Way before the days of GPS. And this is the captain's sea cabin. So the captain would sleep sometimes. If they needed him in a hurry, he would sleep in this area. There's a little washroom back there. But if they needed, he'd come out, turn around, be right there at the battle bridge, ready to go. Tori, what'd you think about the USS Alabama?
It was so awesome!
Good. Overall, Tori and I had a great time at the USS Alabama. There was a lot of narrow stairs throughout the ship, so keep that in mind if you plan on bringing small children. Years ago, I remember the tour being quite warm, but they have recently added more air conditioners, so it's more comfortable. Plan on spending 4 or more hours here if you want to see the whole ship, as there's a lot to see, read, and experience. Look for a future video soon where Tori and I explore the submarine, the USS Drum.